Hey you guys, it is the 4th of July and it is time for another garden update. The energies in the garden are that of death and dryness, and the sun is coming out, so yikes, this is scorcher. The ducks have just run out this direction, as they always do. Naughty kids running to the neighbors. So over here in the garden, this okra, it will be wilted out in a few hours. It just kind of comes back in the overnight, but the sun will scorch it. Things are getting dry, chickens are getting in. Clerodendron and the 4 o'clocks, they're showing y'all how dry it is. There was a rain that was going to hit that missed us about a week ago. So good thing I got lots of succulents in pots. They don't care, but it is dry. So if you look right there, I took off a really big branch that was shading the plum tree. I have lost quite a few of my grafts, and I think it was partially because of the shade. So that's kind of to remedy that. And then I also took off, that pecan from the last one. Just kind of opened things up, but in hindsight, that shade might have been, more valuable. There are some persimmons starting to swell. There is the wild lamb's quarter going to seed. So I am about to be gone for over a month. So I might not even come back in time to harvest that stuff. The yam that I was all excited about is growing well. It's trying to get up into the pine tree. I think a squirrel nibbled the tip. But that cool Dioscorea, I don't know the species of. And then I did a lot of trimming out of the top of the Chinese elm. I never cut out the fire blight. But mainly the energy is just dry. I did some trimming on the Pakistan to get it back towards a single central chunk. So eventually I'll kind of phase out the others as it returns to form. And then, this is sad. I need to water before I go. The blueberries really rough. Lost quite a few, you'll see. Pomegranate. Oh, and these guys. Watch the skills. Death. Oh, one got away. Anyway, pomegranate doesn't care about dryness at all, so it's a desert plant. It can do its thing, and hopefully there's some fruit left. But this is just more death on the blueberry, like hardcore. This is not a full loss, but I'm not doing that great. And then there's a few mandarins. They're gonna do okay. But the tree's actually dropping leaves. I see it thinning out for the dryness. Over here, we are in fig season. Tomatoes are done. Turmeric doesn't really care about the dryness. It'll just go dormant. I lost the, tea camellia. But this is LSU purple. And these are undersized. That was a little underripe, but good enough to eat because it's soft. But this tree is, ripening up, and everybody's enjoying them, including the birds and the ants. And there's quite a bit of fruit right now, which is cool. And it's fig season, baby. Over here we got more figs. So this is the brown turkey, and it defoliated because of the dryness. Excuse me. I definitely need to pick some figs for sharing before I go. And here's more persimmon. There's a few from the grass. This will be a cool one. This is chocolate, I think, or coffee cake. I've never tried that persimmon. But anyway, we were coming to see these and how this tree full on defoliated. I mean, there's ants all over them. But I wonder if they'll be as sweet. They, yeah, dropped all its leaves in the stress of it. So yeah, lots of persimmon though that held. Here's some jujubes. I saw the jujubes at Tree Search starting to ripen, so it's going to be an early year for jujube. And then pear. I got a pear on the tree, but man, it was a really rough spring for fire blight. So you can still see I haven't cut it out, and I should. And this might have been why I lost the avocado. That we'll get to. We'll get to that. All the sad things, changes. So the energy is that of death, of detachment. That's what nature's telling us. Look at that wilt out on the beautyberry. And then this avocado is kind of on the edge of wilt. It's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but not watered yet. Still doing okay, and hopefully continues. Here's a cool one. The Amorphophallus is coming up. So check this guy out. Look at that cool plant. As long as the chickens don't destroy it, I think it'll be okay. If we get some rains. Oh, hey, look. Another pear. That one's even better. Alright, so now we get into the avocados. Look at that level of defoliation. This thing was fully skirted and full of fruit a month ago. And now it's dropped most of its leaves, and there's like one avocado left. That's it. And almost, but not really, not ready. And there's the big branch up there. Do you see the dead? That's from the possums climbing up the tree to eat avocados or just try and get food, and they get real brittle. Avocado gets brittle when it gets dry. So here's some blood oranges starting to swell up, even though it's dry. And then blueberry death. So this is one of a few dead ones, but that blueberry was much taller. It was a big one, and so that's a tough loss. I have a feeling it was more than dryness, but could have just been dryness. Definitely no more tomatoes on account of all the stink bugs and the heat. Over here, you can see those are just stink bug mummified, but this yam is coming back. Even though I'd harvested it, it's had little bulbils drop, so there will be more yam to harvest. There's more persimmons. If you look, see that branch right there? How it's hanging down at that angle? It's because I grafted it with Asian persimmons. They're so heavy. So it'll have an interesting shape, but that's kind of funny, and the other grafts are doing pretty well. LSU Gold is ripening, but well, I see one on the ground, but not many leaves. Like it's defoliating so fast. This is just in response to how dry it is. It's crazy. There's one. Okay, I found an LSU Gold that looks to be close, and that's because it's covered in ants. Nature and competition. Everybody's eating the figs. Okay, maybe. Nope, that one's covered in ants too. Yeah, there's a lot of fruit, but it looks like they're getting a lot of pressure. So those are going to be pecked on and all that before they ripen. So this is the really sad loss that is kind of a heavier energy that I haven't even fully processed. But it seems that I've lost the fantastic avocado, and you might think it was just from dry stress, but it wasn't. It was disease related. it didn't respond to watering when it got it, and it got it at a stage before it should have been, like full, incipient plasmolysis dead tree. So it had some sort of vascular disease, and I think it's connected to fire blight because that was something that was just so heavy this year. But this is a huge loss for me. This tree was, again, just loaded with fruit a month ago, and so it was stressed by the fruit load and then the dryness, but you'll see how it died, and that sort of drying back. And I've been on the fence. Somebody was just a rabbit or something. I've been on the fence about cutting it down real hard, and honestly, so many things going on, but yeah, it's a bummer, and we'll see what comes next. But I did plant Ponca blackberry right here, so, and hasn't been watered in over a week, and it was a pot, so there is moisture in the ground here. It wasn't moisture that killed the avocado. And here's a little mini rack of bananas that isn't going to do much because it froze this winter and then flagged first thing, so there's like not much foliage. Little cinnamon yams coming up. This thing kind of becoming wild. Excited to continue to enjoy those. Let's go this way. Alright, so plants like the wild sunflower, they don't mind at all. They're not skipping a beat. But here's another blueberry that is not looking that good. Still has some foliage, and it's getting covered in loofah, but just so dry. This was covered in flowers. Actually, it does have some fruit set. So there's kumquats that are fruiting in the middle of this dry spell. There are, what else? Let's see, another good fig. Moringa obviously doesn't care about the dry, it loves it. There's some good peppers. See back there, that other one has some red ones to harvest some hot peppers. And not a lot of fruit on this citrus. There's more death. Emerald here, which was one of my favorites, seems to be fully gone. Mostly gone. Yeah, potentially disease related. And then the grapes. So there are some muscadines, and muscadines, grapes in general, they don't ever need water. They are deep Mediterranean plants, so that'll be good for nature. And there's more blooms. Ooh, I can actually smell it. Oh, climbing up here. Gonna have more kumquats soon. And a bumblebee visiting them. Let's say hi to him. So, even though it's challenging right now, there's still life in the garden. And even though I have to go away for a while, I still feeling this desire to connect and care. Alright, so now it's time to check this garden and the chickens. There's a wall of tomatoes. That's all that. We'll go around to the other side. So there was a tremendous amount of gherkin, just like last year, but because of the dryness, like you see all these, they're all shriveling. So the gherkin is saying, I can't do it. But the passion fruit is doing just fine. So passion fruit really deep-rooted, goes through the dry spells better even than gherkin, because there's been a lot of passion fruit falling. And this blueberry really shows that it could be disease, how it's got some green but kind of has a blight going across the rest. And then we can go say hi to the new baby chicks. Maybe even find them a tomato from the tomato wall here. See, when it gets hot, they don't set as much fruit, and this is also all picked over because this is Peggy's zone. Let's see. Here's some more passion fruit. Going to climb that pear tree. Look at how much fruit's set though. It's making a lot. And I did get them some tomatoes. Let's say hi to mamas. Alright, so Izzy's blocking the doorway, which is pretty cool, but we gave these two mamas the ability to have babies go in and out. Oh, that's the good food sound. Okay, okay, okay. She says, you have first dibs. So they're full-on co-parenting, and that's pretty cool. And the babies are being babies. I wonder. Yeah, that was interesting. Izzy's dominant energy-wise, and this is Izzy right here, but she has a bad eye from the hawk attack, so she kind of only has one eye. But Claire's, yeah, they're both good mamas. But yeah, they've been sleeping together in the corners so they don't get pooped on. Back under there, and they just hang out here for the most part, but those babies have grown fast. That black one is so strong. It's getting bigger than the others. But yeah, have a little tomato. Here you go. Take it. Anyway, cute babies. Here, I'll bring you in close. He's like, what is that thing? Check out the other side of the garden. I also want to say I've been getting a lot of lumber, salvaging it from a teardown house, which has been pretty cool. And the bees are doing well. I added a box and getting them propped up. Tropicals, so these houseplants are doing really well through the drought. My ducks, I don't know if you can hear them. They're in the neighbor's yard. But anyway, these philodendrons, only with the occasional watering, are doing well. Like here, look at this beauty. This Monstera put on a new leaf. It's a gorgeous one. So they're doing all right, even though it's dry. I've got wilt on the hardy kiwi. So if you see all that, that's golden kiwi. And then this avocado actually looks pretty good. It defoliated, but has new growth and is holding its leaves well, so kind of excited if it could be a replacement for the ones that have been lost. That would be really nice. There are some figs on the Osborne Prolific right here, but they're all getting pecked open early and eaten early because it's just so stressful out there nature-wise. We have got some more blooms on kumquat. So not only blooms, but there's also a fruit set. So that's starting to ripen. That's pretty cool. But some little flowers. So interesting timing on the kumquat. And then starfruit is very drought tolerant, very deep rooted, I've found. Can go through a dry season. So right here, you see all this dead. I hacked on this beautyberry to help it survive the dry spell. So that was just like getting the leaves off fast so it's not wilting out as hard and can regrow, a little better. There's the solar flare for us. I planted a couple new things over here on the fence, just different yams, more of that monkey potato. And back to this guy. This avocado was nearly a loss, looked like death, a few weeks ago. And the neighbor let me borrow the hose, passed it over, and we dripped on it for a while. So it is still incredibly dry and it's still dealing with whatever it was dealing with. So this kind of dieback really scares me. But if it can pull through, then it will be stronger for it, and if it does not, it will be something that will just push me to detach and grow and move on. But that is probably 90% of the leaves are dead or have dropped. So it's just a massive defoliation / issue going on, and so send it your prayers, because I really like this tree. All right, you guys, that's it for the July update. Let's all pray for rain, do your rain dance, and hopefully we get some here in the garden. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.